I'm Becky, one of the owners of Melt Massage and Bodywork in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, and today I have a partner massage sequence. It's basic, it doesn't require a table or any oil, but it still feels really good and can help address any overall tension or discomfort you might be experiencing these days. Whether you're watching this under quarantine and missing your monthly massage or just running out of date night ideas, massage is a great way to connect, and I hope that this helps you. Thank you. Okay, so to work on the back, we're just gonna do some basic stuff because we don't have a table, and having Alexis's head to either one side or the other might get uncomfortable. So we're gonna do most of the session faced up, but everybody likes their back to be touched. So we're just gonna do some compression. First, my weight is back on my own legs, and then I'm gonna put my hands on her back, not on the bones of her shoulder blades, but in the muscle part between the spine and the shoulder blades. And then I'm gonna slowly lean in. I'm not pushing, I'm just leaning. Once I get to the bottom of her rib cage, I'm not gonna press down on the lower back part. Instead, I'm gonna find my hand at her sacrum, and I'm just gonna sort of lengthen and push away. So we're creating some space in the spine here. Then I can come around to her side and crossing her body on the other side of her spine. I'm not compressing her spine. Again, I'm leaning in and just walking my hand down her back. And I can continue doing it all the way down her leg, skipping that spot right behind her knee. She might have wanted a pillow underneath her ankles, but I didn't do that. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of a stretch here. So go slowly, because everybody's knees are different, but most people can get their heel almost to their butt. Not entirely there, but almost. Once she's flipped over, we're gonna do a little bit of heart opening stuff. So one hand on the shoulder, one at the bottom of the rib cage, and again, leaning in. And then moving that hand down to the hips and leaning in. And I'll switch that too. Do it the other side, the other side. And then I'll grab her arm, and we'll do some chest opening. Right here, I'm compressing what's called in shiatsu the heart meridian. So that's not a terrible idea for date night. And doing a little bit of range of motion. Not too much of any kind of stretch. Then I'll come back down here, and similar to what we were doing when she was face down, just do a little bit of compression. I try to stay in the muscular parts of the leg, so all throughout the thighs, and then on the outside of the shin. From here, you can get into some range of motion. Supporting the knee and getting into a good lunge yourself. Just do a little bit of flexion. Gentle. When you feel the pushback, you just ease off. You can do some rotation. You can play with it. You can rotate and then stretch, That's a nice stretch on the outside of the hip. You can, what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the inside of, or my inside leg, and using the knee, my knee, as a place to compress on the back of her leg. I'm pulling her leg towards my leg. And then if I pull her leg down onto my thigh, that's also a nice compression in her calf, right?
Yeah.
She likes it. It's never a bad idea to do foot massage, but not so much that your fingers hurt, just enough to say I care. And then you can grab both ankles and do a little bit of traction. Having Naya here distracted me, so I forgot to show you about this part. You could take your leg, you can take your very clean or socked foot, and put it gently in their armpit, and use that as some traction. And this is also a good time for some hand massage. Rotating the wrist one way and the other, and then really getting into the meaty parts, the muscular parts below the thumb and pinky. And then doing a little bit of traction in the fingers too. Now I'm kneeling just behind her head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands, it's like a soft cup shape, and I'm going to lift her head ever so slightly, just so that the weight of her skull is just in my hands, and my fingertips are going into the tiny muscles just at the base of your skull where it attaches to the spine. And I'm just going to stay there. I'm just going to let the weight of her head sink into my fingertips and the cup of my hands. If you do the slightest bit of traction here, just a little bit of pull, it feels really good. And then when I gently put her head down, I'll do a little bit of tugging on her ears, because that releases the jaw. Some other muscles that release the jaw are, it's called temporalis. It's like this flat muscle that's on your skull, just right at the side. If you ever had a headache, you've touched here yourself. And if there's any stress in your life, this might be helpful. So then the way that I like to end is I'm going to make a soft fist. It's good to have a dog for kisses. I'm going to make a soft fist with my hand and just right below her collarbone, lean in. And I'm going to ask you to take a big deep breath. And she's going to do that a couple times. And then on the third or fourth inhale, I'm just taking my hands off. And it allows for that much more inhalation. And it feels really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.